Everybody, what's good? It's your boy GLOhan here. Finally back. Quick reason why I haven't been doing these tutorials lately is because I really couldn't figure out how to get my shit to work. Not sure why, but when I switched over to my audio interface and its sound card, it wouldn't let me record anything. But now that I switched the sound card back to FL Studio ACO, I can record again. So, um, in this tutorial, I am going to be teaching you guys how to, what am I going to be teaching you guys? Shit. Alright, let's do the stingers. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do two things you need to make sure that your beats are ready to submit to publishers, A&Rs, record labels, so on and so forth. So there are two main things that you need to make sure you have correct. Those two things are your low end frequencies and also your stinger. And I'll go through some other things too as well. So let's just open up this beat that I made. What beat has a good stinger on it? Let me find one. It's gonna look for a beat real quick that has a pretty good stinger on it. Had to be one I just made. I don't want to go to this one because I'm saving it for something special. So, let's see. If not, I'll just make something off the top. Um, hmm. Let's see. Let's see about this one. All right. Let me check out this beat real quick. I just made this like a couple days ago. This does not have a stinger on it. So, I'm gonna take off the mastering FX real quick because it's gonna be pretty loud. Wonder why I didn't have an. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna fix that later on. Alright, so this beat already has a stinger on it, kind of. There are some things that you can add at the end. So basically, let me get into this first. What a stinger is it is something that one final noise at the end of your beat or song is gonna play it out, basically. Um, Reasons for having a stinger. Um, TV shows. Say you're producing something for this out of the blue. Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They have a scene where a car is driving away, and then it ends on a commercial break. When you hear those beats playing in the background, you hear like a little one last hit or like a R&B sprinkle, some shit like that that happens at the end. That's basically what the stinger is, so that people who make the TV shows can edit those parts and chop it up so that they can place the stinger anywhere they wanted to. Or you could just make different versions of the beat yourself, like a 30-second version, 60-second, full, whatever. So I'm gonna play the stinger for you at the end. Is right now it is just a crash, but play with the rest of the sounds, which is the remainder right here. The remainder of the rest of the sounds makes it have that sting effect. So the sounds still linger on a bit. Now, what you can do with the stinger is we're gonna go see what I do with my patterns is, and also TV shows, publishers, A&Rs, when you send them beats, don't fade them out. Fading them out or fading them in even is bad. Like I said, they want stingers. They don't want some shit that fades out at the end. So make sure your shit doesn't do that. All right. And there's a bit of latency in my voice, so it might sound like I'm trying to catch up with my words. Let's look. So how I do my patterns is basically I make the full beat in a pattern. All the instruments laid out on one pattern. First, I name that full, then I clone it. Then I do a chorus. I take out what I don't want in the chorus. Then I clone full again, bring it down, and then separate the instruments. And that's how I got the full, the chorus, and the rest of the instruments here, which that is not very important right now. So let's see. I'm gonna take full. I'm gonna clone it. I'm gonna rename this stinger. All right. Now that we have that renamed to stinger, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a stinger. So, excuse me. Usually with the stinger, what it is basically the last note of every instrument on the melody, or you could have a kick or a sub bass. In this case, I'm not gonna use the sub bass because the sub bass is not gonna fade itself out. I could do that myself. I could fade it out, but it's gonna take more unnecessary time. So I'm probably just gonna do a melody that ends. So all you want to do is go to the lead right here, take out everything, take this note, make it this small, go to the synth, delete everything, make it this small. Same thing here. And same thing here. Let's see. Alright. And you want to make sure that everything that you're stinging was in the last part of the song. So in this case, the last part of my song was full, which means that everything would sting out. And you can also add like a little special noise at the end of a stinger, like a Kill Bill siren or some shit like that. A gunshot. Never done a gunshot before. Could try it, but just never gotten to that. I have done the Kill Bill siren on one of my gang series of beats. The gang, I think it was Gang 1, had this Kill Bill siren at the end. For strings, you can usually add more and just turn the velocity down so it has a delay effect on it. I'm going to show you guys how to do that real quick. So let me switch to the pattern. Let's see how it sounds. Let me mute all the drums because I'm not going to sting any drums here. Let me, the rock star. I should probably make the notes a little bit longer. I'm going to make them one step longer, or half a step longer, or a beat. Because that sting was real short. Doesn't sound pretty good. let's see how it sounds. Alright, so we have a pretty decent stinger here. Now, like I was saying, with the strings, you could fade them out. So I'm just gonna add one of these every half bar. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this, all of them, and I could have did velocity on each different note here, but for some reason I didn't for this beat. 78, and we're just going to, and you don't have to do 78, whatever velocity you want to start on. I just do that because that's the default. So you're going to take that and drag that down to 0. Let's see. 0. Alright. Didn't seem to be accurate. Alright. There we go. And it does sound like it needs a bit more, so you know what? It's going to do it the whole 4 bars. Accurate. And I'm a really compulsive OCD type of guy, so if something's not accurate, I'm gonna make sure it is. Hold on real quick. Alright, let's get back into it. So let's hear how it sounds. Alright, you know what? Change my mind. Take out those 3, and we're just gonna go from here. And you can barely hear that one, so I'm gonna turn it up to about 2. Alright, so now we got that done. All we gotta do is place the stinger here. And let me take off all of the drums. No, not copy, didn't press that. Take off all the drums here. Now you can unmute all of them. If you want, you can add one last kick at the end. But I don't know. That kick is kind of beefy, so I don't think I want to use that one. All right, let's check it out. You know, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to turn the pitch changer back up to 50%. Alright, you know what? For the strings, I'm a bit confused about that, so I'm just going to put 3 of them right here. That should be fine, like that. Yeah, this should be just fine, just like that. Alright, so let's hear it one more time. Alright, that's decent, you know. If it's a TV show, you feel me, no one's really gonna be paying attention to, oh shit, there was only 3 string notes at the end. Like, you know, you feel me? As long as it stings well, doesn't fade out, you should be decent. So, let's say it always depends on what type of show. Let's say if it's a show about love, uh, love and hip hop per se. I mean, those shows aren't really about love, but you feel me? Flavor Flav, some shit like that. Uh, it's gonna be like a little bit sound at the end. It's gonna play off the beat as well as the stinger. So we're gonna go ahead and grab these sprinkles I got right here. I think it's an FX, yeah. The wind chimes. We'll place it right here. What you're gonna do is I'm gonna play the wind chimes real quick, and you're gonna notice something. So I'm gonna mute it. Let me unmute the automation. All right, so I'm gonna play it real quick, and you're gonna hear it. I'm gonna tell you about this real quick. Oh, it's loud as shit. Turn it down. All right, you hear that? You hear how at the end it just cut off. There was no fading, nothing. It just cut straight off. Imagine if you're watching a show and the sound just bloops off. You do not want that. So what you're gonna do to fix this is you're gonna click on the corner here where mouse is at. You're gonna click that. Drop down menu is gonna come up. In the bottom right of the drop down menu, you're gonna see the word automate. You're gonna click on that and you're gonna click volume. What you're gonna do is you're gonna drag this all the way down here, and you can change the curve if you want. I'm gonna put the curve at -5%. I'm gonna play it, and you're gonna hear how usually it just stops. The sound just stops. Like, you know, the audio clip is done after that, it just stops. But what I did was I faded it out. So we're gonna take a listen to that. So it's much more smoother. You don't get that bam, it's gone type of feel to it. And I know I said that publishers and shit like that, they don't need fucking fade outs, but this is just one sound. The beat stings obviously, so it's not fading out. Just that one sound, because you don't want a sound that just stops. Like I said, everything has to sting, everything has to flow, it has to be smooth. So we are going to play the beat again with the R&B sprinkles on there. I see how that sounds. You can barely even tell that the beat sting at the end, or it stung at the end. I mean, it just sounds like it just was normal. It just should have did that. So let's play it one more time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it with the stinger. The next I'm going to play it without the stinger. I'm going to keep the wind chime on though. Alright, now I'm going to take out the stinger. Now I'm going to take out the wind chime. I'm going to keep the stinger on this first playthrough. I'm going to take it out the next. So now that could be used for a more serious movie. Usually R&B sprinkles are not used for things that are serious. They are more used for drama or love, romance, types of things like that. Now I'm gonna distract you guys, so I'm gonna play it one more time with the stinger, then I'm gonna take it off. going to take the stinger off. So you just get that little remainder. You don't get the last root notes kicking it out. Now that crash does add for a little bit of effect, but you know that's supposed to be there. So I'm not gonna save this obviously because that's not how I want this beat to sound. What I'm gonna do is for the next tip I'm gonna show you guys, and I was gonna name this video quick tip, but shit turned into 20 minutes. So you know, let's go to a beat with some 808 on it. All right, this is a beat I just made today called Anime. Alright, so we are back. Like I said, this is a beat I just made today. It's called Anime. And I'm low-key thinking about writing to this and rapping to this. But let me move my tag. Basically, this next tip of things that you're gonna need when you're sending music to publishers for TV placement, in case they're not gonna be mixing sorry, in case they're not going to be mixing the music themselves, you want to make sure that your bass frequencies are between, I believe it would be negative 12 decibels to 9 decibels. Negative 9. 9 would be terrible. Negative 9, I mean. Um, so let's take up on the mastering, just like I did last time. I'm going to keep this on here. That's why my voice is so loud, because I have the mastering effects on. Alright, I'm going to go to my 808. This will probably be a beat you guys won't hear. I don't know. I might play it for you guys. I might not. But I just want you guys to check out the 808. So let's take a look at this real quick. What I place down doesn't really matter. I'm going to show you guys anyway. Whoops. Switch the pattern. What 808 did I use for this? I used the standard. Alright. Shit sounds cold. Alright. So what we're going to do now is what a lot of you guys might have saw some of my tutorials was I always use this shit. See, that latency is fucking me up. But I always use this shit called wave candy. I'm sure a lot of you guys are like, what the fuck is this shit he's using? So basically, wave candy is a visualizer. Lets you see your waves. Now, when I'm mixing 808s, I'm not a fucking robot. Those waves don't mean shit to me. So what I do is, you take the plug-in, not the visualizer itself, but the actual plug-in, the box. You click in the corner here, the drop-down menu, go to presets, and under the section that is called theme, you want to click Alt Meter Gradient, the first one. You're gonna get this. Now what this does is it allows you to see the decibels that your bass is going into, the volume levels basically. For some reason it's not mono. My 808 is mono, but for some reason that shit is stereo. Which doesn't make sense. But okay. So let's just say I'm gonna turn my EQ down all the way to here. So you guys can see that it's not even going past negative 14 decibels. And one thing that I learned from, I think it was my very first publishing deal, sent him the beats, and he told me he had a little, I guess he had some type of reader that could read the frequencies, the waveforms. So he told me that my bass was not ready for broadcast. And basically, I had to go back into each beat and change things to go in between negative 12, negative 9 decibels. He said anything above negative 9 was not for broadcast, anything under 12 was not for broadcast. So you want to get your decibels in between 9, or negative 9, and negative 12. And I'd say right in the middle of negative 10, negative 11 would be perfect. So to do that, let's just say we started with a flat bass. EQ, nothing is EQ'd yet. It's already pretty consistently in between the lines. So I'm just gonna raise the 1 up a little bit because that's what really affects the low end right there. Now, as you can see now, it doesn't even go under 12. Like, it just stays in between negative 9 and negative 12. So that's a problem solved. Now your bass or low end frequency is ready for broadcast. And I mean, if you have tons of low end besides an 808, there's probably another way to do it, you feel me? Like, if you just have a shitload of low ends, you're probably gonna have to monitor a whole bunch of other shit. But for hip hop beats, mainly, there's just gonna be one main low end frequency. It's gonna be your 808 or sub bass. Sub bass is a bit different. Sub basses should be lower because if you have too high of a sub bass, it's gonna definitely distort. But I use 808s a lot, so different for me. With that tip done, let's see. Something else. Yeah. If you're doing your own mastering, I discussed this in my mastering tutorial. Where's my cut? All right. The cut. So this is a 30 hertz plus 18k hertz cut. And in my last tutorial, my mastering tutorial, I told you guys to use the 40 hertz plus 18k hertz cut. Did a little research and actually found out that 30 hertz plus 18k hertz is a little bit more effective. And just so you guys understand what the cuts are, basically they are there to eliminate unwanted frequencies. There's a lot of muddy sounds in low end and a lot of very scratchy sounds in treble or high end that you wouldn't want in your music. And the reason why you don't want these sounds is not only are they unpleasant at times, but also because certain things like MP3 players, phones, headphones, even some headphones, earbuds, shit like that, don't even play those frequencies. So it would be a burden to even have those frequencies. And I think another reason is because of like the limit of human hearing. Kids, I think kids can hear pretty much everything. I think like babies and shit can hear pretty much everything. I think once you reach like 12 or some shit like that. I didn't do much research into this, so don't judge me. But I think once you reach like 15 or some shit, your human hearing is limited to like 20 hertz plus 18k hertz. Like when you're an old ass motherfucker, like shit just dribbles down to about 40 hertz plus 18k hertz. So the average would be 30 hertz plus 18k hertz. That's what you would expect most people to be able to hear. So that's what I do my cuts on. And to get the cut, basically before you throw in your compressors, because for some reason after you throw in your compressors, if you throw a parametric EQ2 on after you throw in your compressors, it's going to make the music peak. So basically what you want to do is you want to throw the cut in before your compressors. So check it out. Just gonna throw in the EQ2. You're gonna click this drop down arrow. Drop down menu, go to presets. It's already here for you in the presets. It's called mastering. It's under the label called mastering. And you want to click on 30 hertz cut. Well, it's called 30 hertz plus 18K hertz cut. Click on that. And bam, you got the cut. And then you can go into compressing your sound. But usually, if you're working with a publisher who mixes the music, what you would want to do is take off all of the compressing, take off your sweeping, take off your increase knob, like the sounds you do want, take that off. Take off your cut, take off your compressing, resonance, take it all off. Just leave on the EQ that brings the volume down, because you want your volume to, it can peak around -3 decibels, but you want it to stay consistent under -6 decibels. That gives it room for someone else to master the music. And also, you can leave all the other effects on unless you have any compressors or mastering effects. But you can keep on your EQ, your reverb, your filters, all that shit. Keep that on there. Unless the person tells you not to. If the person tells you to take everything off, then do it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Can't really think of anything off the top. But you know what? I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek of the beat. I'm gonna play the chorus section real quick. I'm gonna play the next chorus section. Sounds a bit better, more clear. So that's just a sneak peek of what I got going on. And yeah, I'm probably gonna keep this in the vault for a minute. I got a plan for it. I'm not gonna release it now. Like I said, shit, I know this video was long as fuck, but just take into account how I made that stinger. Take into account the bass frequencies and the cut. Only use the cut if the publisher or music library or whatever wants mastered beats. If you just want some mixes, all you have to do on the master track is keep the one that lowers the volume level. And any, like a love filter, I have a love filter on here, you can keep that on there. Any filters or other effects besides mastering effects, you can keep on there. But if your publisher is not going to be mastering the music and you're going to do it yourself, shit, just do your thing, you feel me? But yeah, that's it for this video. Coming up next or soon, whenever I get it out, I'll be doing videos on timing, because I know some of you young producers out here having some problems getting your beats on time, quantization, all that good shit. What else will I be doing? I got a video explaining publishing, the splits and the royalties, writer shares, all that. And maybe after that, I'll do a tutorial on PROs, BMI, how they work. And can't really put a lot of, you know, I'm very knowledgeable in this shit. You feel me? I did a lot of research on it, but to be honest, I have yet to get a major placement. I have about 6 publishing deals with small companies. I'm working hard though. You feel me? I haven't been dishing out music to them lately though. That's probably why I need to be dishing out music to those publishers, because what I've been doing was I've just been adding to my website my YouTube uploads, because that's what I deem important first, of course. My YouTube, tending to the fans, making these tutorials. But lately, I've just been in my zone, trying to make beats for these publishers, because I got a couple who will pay, I got a couple who won't. So, you know, if I get a if I get any type of placement, really, not even just a major, any type of licensing deal, anything, it'll be decent. You feel me? So I'm working on projects like that. I'm working on collaboration projects. I'm paying producers for collabs. Don't ask me to pay you for collab. I'll know exactly who I want to get for the collab. So already got that shit planned out. So I gotta do me on this. You feel me? But I'm not really trying to do free collabs right now. I'm helping you guys out in the masses. You feel me? I'm not trying to help you guys out one on one. Really, right? At least not right now, because I'm trying to get shit in order. You feel me? Once I get shit in order, once I'm back, once I'm rolling on the road, I'm gonna have lots of inspiring shit for you guys. So stay tuned, man. Stay tuned with GLOhan. You feel me? I ain't gone yet. I ain't done with this shit. So yeah. That's it for this video. Feel me? Peace.